there. All right, and it looks like what you want to avoid is you want to avoid any kind of sliding, because it doesn't look very good. So from here, all right, it looks like he gets a good plant down, so that's good enough for now, I think. And I can see a couple problems with it already. One is that if you look at the keyframes, the dots in between, they get smaller, and then they get wider in the middle, and then they get smaller again towards the end. And that's because the type of movement keyframe we have is a curving type, and we need to change that to be a linear type, so that the space in between the dots is going to be even, and it's going to give us a more consistent kind of movement. Very good. And see how that's what it does there. It slows it down, so now he's sliding, and we don't like it. So to do that is really pretty simple. We're going to right click on the keyframe, and we're going to say interp mode linear. All right, and that's going to give us evenly spaced timing. Okay, the curve would be good if, say, you had a crane and you were setting something down. You know, it wouldn't come down in an even motion, just it would hit too hard. So in this case, we don't have that. We want it just to be this constant movement. Okay. So, and that looks pretty good. I see a problem with his height. Okay, and we're going to fix that any moment. You can see as he comes off this platform here, the platform is elevated a little bit. And so what we need to do is we need to keyframe another movement track that's going to bring him down to the level of the ground or the bridge. So I will set that to curve, which is a mistake because, as you can see, he slows down again. So what we really need to do is we need to set that to linear. Okay, and we're going to set that one key on his last step before he goes down, and then the next key where his foot lands on the next step. And what that's going to do is that is going to make it look much more realistic as he comes down from that little platform there and down. Looking good. A little clipping, but you know, that's okay. Now all we have to do is we have to go out to the last keyframe, because he's still elevated at that keyframe, and we just need to move him down so that he is looks like he's hitting the ground as he runs. And you got to make sure you have the keyframe selected to move him, and that, see how it says key 3 down there at the bottom? If that is not in red, then it means that he's not being moved. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. It looks like I moved him down just a little bit too much, and that I'm going to have to pop him up one snap there. I think that's looking good. So we're back now. I've closed Matinee for the time being. I wanted to show you an error you're going to get at this point if you try to reopen Matinee. So I'm going to open Kismet, double click Matinee, and you get this warning saying that the skeletal mesh's movement is not set to phys interpolating. If you want to be able to keyframe movement in the movement track of any actor, whether it be a static mesh or a skeletal mesh that's playing an animation like this, you're going to need to access its movement track and change its physics to interpolating. So you either press F4 or double click on them. You go to your movement track, okay, and then down in the list you're going to see physics interpolating. Click it, okay, open Matinee, and you won't get that error anymore. Alright, so now we are going to give him a weapon. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and give him the good old flak cannon. No, how about the rocket launcher? That's a classic. Excellent. Go down to mesh. Nothing to show because the filter's on. Turn it off. We're going to pick the 3P rocket launcher. Okay, it's selected. You can close the browser. You right click on the ground, say add actor, add skeletal mesh, and then you're going to go up to this guy, which is the socket toggle. And what's that? When you click it, it's going to open up all these red diamonds, and those are sockets on the skeletal mesh. So if I click one, then the rocket launcher is going to snap right to it. Make sure you turn it off though, because it can be dangerous if it's left on. So now wherever the guy goes, the rocket launcher is going to go with him. Unfortunately, the animation is such that he's holding a rocket launcher type weapon or a rifle. Okay, so let's just resize that guy. Alright, so if I scrub the timeline now and we zoom back, you can see that he is indeed holding the rocket launcher and making it down that little step there, and off he goes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some particle effect explosions. So as he runs by, these explosions are going to go off. So we'll pick that up in the next video. Thanks.